Hello and welcome to the beginning of a new little mini-series we can do called Minecraft Classics. This is going to be a series where I showcase some old but gold Minecraft creations, inventions or what have you from the past. This will feature things from my own channel or maybe just the community in general. We'll be focusing on things that are just as cool today as when they were first unveiled. So, let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to kick this off with possibly one of my all-time favourite hidden redstone inputs or secret activation devices. So here we are entombed in a room for what seems like the 10,000th time. So I'm going to show you this section first, and then I'll explain how it works and why it's made its way onto my list. So basically, all you have to do is you have to take an Eye of Ender, and you have to stand in a predetermined spot. So in this case, it is the circle stone in the centre of the room. Then you just have to stand on there, and you just have to lob an Eye of Ender. Alright, then you have to wait a few moments, and the door will open, and we can progress. So this was initially discovered by the Minecraft PG5 guys, of course, back in 2011. So it's pretty old, but it still works just as good today as it did back then. So let me maybe demonstrate this again, stripped back this time. As you can see, there really isn't actually all that much to it at all. So we just stand on the gold point and lob the Eye of Ender, and we'll see. Well, that time it didn't work. That's the thing that sometimes happens. Basically, Eyes of Enders can. That's very unlucky. Okay, third time's the charm. Sometimes Eyes of Enders do shatter, and that is. Oh, come on! I've never had it happen 3 times in a row. That is very unlucky, especially when I'm recording. 4th time's the charm. There we go. Okay, so basically what happens is when you lob an Eye of Ender, it actually creates this special entity called Eye of Ender Signal. So this isn't an item. And Eye of Ender Signal is basically tracking the stronghold. So you probably already know this. You've probably experienced it in Survivor at some point. So it tracks the nearest stronghold and it will kind of point in that direction. So the interesting thing about Eye of Ender is that it can actually travel through anything. So solid blocks cannot stop it. So it will travel to its destination, which is just above this hopper. And then once it's reached its destination, it will either shatter, as we saw, or it will actually convert into an item. It mostly converts into items. I just got really unlucky there. So it converts into an item, it will drop into this hopper, which will drop down into this chest, as you can see here, and it'll basically just set off this comparator, which will cause a signal, which you can do whatever you like with. Onto why this has made it onto my list. Well, for a secret activation device, this ticks a lot of the boxes in my eyes. So first of all, it has a very specific activation zone, so this gold block. If I stand very close to it on this one, for example, and I lob the Eye of Ender, it will not activate it because it only works on the gold bit. Next is that it uses an uncommon activation item, so the Eye of Ender, which is easy to make, but it's just not one of those things people tend to have in their inventory. So you need to stand on this specific spot, you need to know to stand here, you need to know that you need an Eye of Ender, and you need to know that you need to throw it. In addition to this, I like how cheap it is. It's pretty much just this. It can be built anywhere in the world. It also has a form of wireless redstone in a way that it's not connected to the activation point. And it can go through walls. And also, it's almost ritualistic, and I always like that with these kind of things. So if you combine all of these things together, you just get this really, really nice device. Do tell me, what are some of your favourite things from Minecraft's past? I would love to know. But that is pretty much all there is for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, a like is always appreciated. Subscribe if you're not already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.